Hi, I'm Dr. Jim.
And I'm Dr. Janine.
We want to talk to you about something really important today, and that's some of the cardiovascular tests that should be done routinely, and we rarely ever see them done.
Right. We don't see them done routinely.
No.
We see them occasionally if somebody has went to someone specifically for specialty testing, but it's not done on a regular, everyday basis because, for one, I know a lot of people out there that are worried about cardiovascular might be on Medicare. It's not stuff that Medicare likes to pay for routinely.
No.
The
Yes.
first one is called an HS, high-specific C-reactive protein. It looks for inflammation in the arteries. So if you have a high CRP, you know something's going on. If you start having inflammation, inflammation is the start of all disease. So that is an inflammatory marker, and it is very important to see where you are on that test.
One of the other ones that is so important, and we rarely ever see it done, occasionally, but rarely, and that's homocysteine. A lot of people contact us about, do I have a methylation problem? Now, I've seen a video or something about methylation. What do I do? What do I do? Check your homocysteine. If your homocysteine is elevated, and what we would really like to have is it on the very low end, because actually it's a waste product or intermediate product that our body makes just because it's alive, but we don't want too much of it because it can really damage the arteries. Not a good thing. So when you do the homocysteine test, though, it'll tell you, are you having a problem like that? And if you do, use something that you can lower very easily. We've got a product called Methylcore that lowers it like a rock, something like that. And you know that, okay, I'm protecting my arteries from the inside out.
Same with the HS-CRP. If it's elevated, our SPM Select brings it right down.
Yes.
So it'd be different if you checked these things and couldn't do anything about them. But there are things you can do about it. So another one, you have something called an oxidized LDL.
Oh, that's one you never see.
We never see that one done.
I don't think I can ever recall a patient bringing me in a lab done somewhere else that had an oxidized LDL. And when you look at oxidized LDL, it's kind of sad. Because if you look at the research on oxidized LDL, it goes all the way back into the 70s, the 1970s. That's a long time ago, about 50 years, right? So you go back 50 years. They've known about something for 50 years, but they rarely ever check it. And we knew that some of the plaque and most of the plaque in the arteries and so on have oxidized LDL.
Right. They find that the cholesterol that is in plaque is oxidized.
Yes.
So what do you do for oxidized LDL? You take antioxidants, and very specific antioxidants. Right. We've had really good results with our Green Tea Max.
And another one is our berberine Max. Both of those are really good at lowering that oxidized
But there's a
LDL.
lot of things out there. L-carnitine can lower oxidized LDL. Your luteolin can actually decrease oxidized LDL. So there's a lot of different things. What doesn't lower oxidized LDL are things that lower LDL. Statin drugs do not lower oxidized LDL. So it's something that you need to know specifically. Now, another one that we do routinely and that we think is important is fibrinogen. Fibrinogen are precursor to fibrin, which are the strings that hold together plaques, clots, things like that. It holds it together. So if you have a really high amount, it's going to increase your stroke risk. It's going to increase your clotting risk. It's going to increase, risk like that. So you don't want it to get too high. Now you don't want it too low either, because then you don't clot. So what we use if somebody has higher end fibrinogen is we use our Natto Advantage. We've had a lot of videos that talked about nattokinase, and the Natto Advantage that we use works very well for lowering fibrinogen, and it's just great for getting rid of plaque in the arteries altogether.
It certainly is. And, natto is one of those things and we've done quite a few videos about natto because we use it a lot with our patients. And when you use something that much and you see the response that you get, positive response, and you see the indicators like the lowering of the fibrinogen, people being able to feel better. And there's even, a lot of research now showing that actually nattokinase can get rid of the spike protein of COVID. So
exactly.
Another good thing to do.
Spike protein has caused lots of cardiovascular disease. Lots of cardiovascular risk because it's increasing clotting and making these long blood clots that everybody's heard about. So that's where Natto Advantage would be beneficial, but it definitely beneficial for anybody with cardiovascular problems.
Right.
Now, another test is called lipoprotein A. Lipoprotein A is no doubt genetic. It is a genetic risk factor. Not everybody with cardiovascular disease has high lipoprotein A, but many do. And when lipoprotein A is elevated, unfortunately, again, your statins do not lower lipoprotein A. What do you do about lipoprotein A? We have a product called Niavask, which is basically a time-release niacin. And even medically, niacin is one of the things that they use to actually lower lipoprotein A. Also, proline and lysine compete with lipo-A on the receptor sites. So taking lysine and proline, like in our amino flow, would be really good for someone with high lipoprotein A.
That's true. So as you can see from what we've touched on, you've probably been to your cardiologist if you had any doubts or questions. And probably they did something like a stress test or so on, but they didn't dig in deep enough on your lab work. And that lab work is telling you what's going on metabolically. Right.
And the other stuff, because I have people all day long say, oh, I don't need those tests. I just had my heart checked. And I'm like, yeah, but they just said, okay, right now you don't have a blockage. Right now you don't have a problem. It doesn't show your predisposition. All this test shows you what you're predisposed to have. And if you control it, you don't wait till you have it. Prevention is the key. And so you want to know what you have underlying. You want to know what you have in your family. I mean, a lot of people don't know they have it. I've had quite a few people though come in about the lipoprotein A because someone in their family had a high lipoprotein A, and they're like, I need mine checked because they have it high. And usually theirs is too, because it definitely runs in families. So do the testing, know it, prevent, take things ahead of time. Don't wait until you have a heart problem.
That's the key, prevention. Hopefully you got something good out of this little video. I think we dumped a lot of information on you pretty quickly here, but just rewind it and watch it again if you need to. In the meantime, if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like. YouTube seems to like those two things, so we'll like to keep them happy as well. In the meantime, stay healthy, and if you need any help with getting lab work done, give us a contact.
Yeah,
we'll be glad to do it. In most states, we can get this lab work done for you and at a very reasonable price. Thank you again for watching. See you very soon.